Everton fans, take note. There's a player who could show up at Goodison with the stamina of an Arabian horse and the creativity of a number 10. But it doesn't stop there. The name that could lead the Toffees' attack in 2025 is respectable and has a track record that would scare any defender. And there's more. Tough competition for a promising player who even caught the eye against England. Yes, the market is boiling, and Everton is at the center of the board. So leave a like and subscribe to the channel because today's video is hot and full of details that you, as a hardcore fan, can't miss. Let's start with a name that has been stirring up the club's backstage and who could soon emerge as a key player in David Moyes' rebuilding, Mohamed Diomande. The Ivorian Rangers midfielder has been closely monitored, and look, he has everything to be a major reinforcement. At just 23 years old, Diomande barely missed any games due to injury last season, and that already gives the green light to the medical and technical departments. According to specialist Dr. Rajpal Brar, the player spent almost the entire season unharmed, missing only one game due to a minor knock. And that's a big deal, because in addition to his physical form, the Ivorian delivers football. He scored 6 goals and provided 9 assists in 54 games, with solid performances even in the Europa League. Versatile, he can play as a number 6, 8, 10, and even as a winger. With Doucouré likely to leave, Diomande arrives as that wild card that fits into any scenario, exactly what Moyes loves. So will Everton close this deal before another club comes along? But if the subject is leadership and goals, this one will get the Hill Dickinson stands buzzing. Alexander Mitrovic could be on his way to Merseyside. According to sources in Italy, Everton would be willing to put no less than $38.5 million on the table to bring the Serbian striker back to the Premier League. And it's not just tabloid speculation. The club's former scout, Brian King, believes that a personal deal would not be an issue. Mitrovic himself would be interested in returning to England. And think about it, the guy has a history. He has been a standout at Newcastle, Fulham, and is now a central player at Al Hilal. At 30 years old, he is in excellent form and has the ideal profile for Moyes' style of play: physical, aggressive, and with an eye for goal. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin does indeed leave, Mitrovic would be the new commander in the box. Can you imagine him receiving the ball from Ndiaye or playing pivot for the kids to accelerate down the flanks? This is the kind of reinforcement that not only solves the present, but also makes the fans dream bigger. Speaking of midfield and strategic reinforcements, there is one name that has become a topic of conversation in the corridors of Finch Farm: Habib Diarra. The Strasbourg captain is on the radar of several clubs: Aston Villa, Atletico de Madrid, Leeds, and of course, Everton. But now the situation has become more pressing. Leeds have already put an offer of £23.8 million on the table after having their first one rejected. This forces Everton to act or risk losing yet another promising name. Diarra, who even shone in a friendly against England, has already made it clear that he dreams of playing in the Premier League. His representatives have confirmed that he wants to leave this summer and, therefore, personal terms would not be an obstacle. With the departure of Doucouré and Mangala, Everton's midfield needs solutions, and Diarra brings defensive intensity, attacking presence, and a personality that calls the game. A little engine that can make a difference both in marking and in creation. Will the club enter this competition firmly, or will Leeds come out on top? And to close, let's talk about an English gem who is dividing opinions, but who has everything to grow with the blue jersey: Omari Hutchinson. The 21-year-old winger had a difficult season with Ipswich, who ended up being relegated, but even so he caught the attention, including from Everton fans, who have already started to move on social media asking for his signing. Hutchinson scored 3 goals and provided 2 assists in 32 Premier League games. It may not seem like much, but considering that it was his first full season at the highest level and in a team that was barely breathing, the signs are positive. More than that, he has explosiveness, takes on defenders, recovers without laziness, and shows personality. According to the Breaking the Lines portal, Hutchinson is the type of player that pleases David Moyes, a winger who attacks and defends with the same enthusiasm. He still needs to refine his decision-making, especially in passing, but he has plenty of talent. The asking price could be around $30 million, But is it worth investing in a guy who can provide technical and financial returns in the medium term? Everton is clearly on the move, and what we see is a pattern: intense, multifunctional players who are ready to fit into a reconstruction project with a strong identity. But now I want to hear from you. Of these four names, Diomande, Mitrovic, Diarra, and Hutchinson, which one do you consider essential for the Toffees next season? Comment below, like, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates from this window that promises to excite the Blue fans.